So man, if you're a young entrepreneur or you're a young ambitious man, chances are if you're watching this you probably are, your bad habits are stealing money from your pockets as we speak. And if you do not solve this problem soon, you're literally lighting your own money on fire and you're sinking your entire ship. Your ship represents your entire life. Your life is going to go downhill like this, and let me explain why. Because right now I'm going to show you this simple 3-step method for destroying any bad habit in your life. But just before I show you how to do it, I just want you to look at this image because it's honestly terrifying. And what I did is I've calculated how much time you're actually wasting. This is gonna be really interesting. Just give me a second. So the average lifespan for someone like to live to like 90, for example, is 4,576 weeks. That's a lot of weeks to be honest, but it doesn't really sound like that much. And you've got 3,693 left. Obviously this is gonna vary because this is only if you're 16. You're obviously gonna have less time if you're like 21 or something. And the really terrifying thing is, if you do the bad habit for 3 hours a day, that's 12 years of your life wasted. That is an insane amount of time, bro. Like, bro, you can scale like 7 businesses to multi 7 figures in that time, and you've wasted all that time scrolling, playing video games. It's honestly crazy. And eventually, if you're not already, it will lead to 4 to 5 hours a day of wasted time. And I don't even want to calculate how many weeks that is. I don't want to calculate how many years that is. And I just wanted to make this as kind of like a reminder that you need to act right now. You do not have time to waste. And I don't want you to feel scared or anything, but because this video is going to go over everything on how to defeat your bad habits, because this is exactly what I did and it saved so much more time for me. So I'm not going to waste any more of your time with BS. I'm going to solve it right now. So here's everything you're going to be learning. You're going to be learning how to change your physical environment to get rid of the bad habits, and why this is one of the main reasons you struggle with bad habits. You're also going to learn habit association and basically killing your habits by changing associations with bad habits. And you're also going to learn how to manage the triggers and the impulses that you get when you're about to do a bad habit and basically stop yourself from doing it. And you're also going to learn how to internally purify your mind so you can basically change your belief systems and stop yourself from doing the bad habit. And finally, you're going to get a clear set of action steps that you can do and basically take action right away. So the first thing is physical environment reprogramming. So the first thing you got to realize is that when you first do a habit, your brain is going to log the environment, like the space around you that you do the habit in, and it's also going to log why you started the habit, like the cause of it basically. So an example of this could be like with video games. So let's say the location you're in right now, the environment you're in, is your bedroom. You're sitting at your gaming chair right now and you're trying to do some deep work but you couldn't, because the cause of actually playing video games, the cue that has caused us to actually get the urge to play video games, is by your friends messaging you on your phone, Discord, and that has caused you to quit doing your deep work, and the next thing you know you're playing Overwatch 2 with a bunch of friends. And when your brain logs the trigger environment, it is learned and you'll be way more likely to do the habit again. So this person, maybe this is you, every single time you get a notification by your friends that they want to play video games with you, you're just going to join immediately. You're not going to think, oh, should I do this, should I do my deep work? You're just going to join because you're starting to build that habit and it's starting to become subconscious in your mind. So what I want you to do right now is just think back to the last time you did the bad habit that you're trying to get rid of. You probably did it in one location and at one time, and that is because the habit is always associated with a location and a certain time. If you've read Atomic Habits, basically James Clear is the author of this book. It's a really good book. Basically, he says a habit is always tied to a time and a location or your environment. So an example of a habit like this could be, I play Overwatch 2 in my bedroom after I finish my work at 6 p.m. The location is your bedroom and the time is 6 p.m. And this is when the impulses are going to start to arise. This is when you're going to start to get urges to do this habit. So now we're going to move on to the juicy part, which is the first method to actually cut out bad habits. Okay, so the first method is to change the location at a specific time that the habit is basically ingrained in your mind. So let's use the last example. I play Overwatch 2 in my bedroom after I finish my work at 6 p.m. Well, there's millions of things that this person could do to get rid of this bad habit of playing Overwatch 2 after they've finished their work. At 6 p.m. they could go to the gym, they could read, they could sign up for a martial arts session. And what you have to do is simply just change where you are at that time. So a simple thing you could do is literally just go on a walk. Like you could just go on a walk in nature, because the chances of you actually like bringing your PS5 with you on a walk in nature in public, it's just not going to happen, bro, unless you're just crazy and you've got a crazy addiction. So really all we have to do is simply change it to a healthier habit in a different location. That's all we have to do. It can be a different area in your house, it could be going for a cold shower, it could be going in the gym, it could be anything. Just think of like a different habit you could do in a different location, and the chances of you actually doing that habit is going to be very unlikely, and it's going to lower the intensity of the impulse you get when you're about to do a bad habit. All right, that's exactly how I did it. So the second part of this video is all about removing the triggers from your life. Bro, I have an obsession with punching the camera, I'm sorry. One day I'm gonna punch this camera and the camera's gonna shatter and you're never gonna hear from me ever again. There's gonna be no more YouTube videos and it's just gonna be you. So now we're gonna move on to the second method if you try that and it does not work. So I have like 2 other backup plans that you can try. If you cannot do the first method I just said, you can simply just delete the bad habit triggers from our mind. So we basically lower the intensity of the impulses and get rid of any trigger or cue that causes the habit to start. So to actually remove the triggers, we have to make the habit difficult with the environment, alright? So, like I said, bro, you need to pick up this book if you haven't. If you actually want to quit your bad habits, it's Atomic Habits by James Clear. Basically, he says we have to make the habit difficult to actually stop us from doing the habit. So let's say you're addicted to the PS5. A simple thing you could do is unplug it and put it in the cupboard. Just lob it in your wardrobe or something. It's basically just out of your mind. If you keep on going on YouTube, install website blockers and just sign out of YouTube. It's going to make it really difficult to actually get on the site. If you're distracted by your phone, just smash it. I'm only joking, bro. Do not smash your phone unless you really have a strong addiction and you need to get rid of it. Like, if it's really that bad, just lob it out the window. And I just want you to know, this is exactly how I cured my severe GTA addiction. Bro, 2,534 hours in GTA. This was in the span of a year as well, so this was like 104 days in GTA. And the last thing you can do to basically make sure you never come back to this bad habit and you stay cold turkey for like years on end is through internal purification, specifically like changing your belief systems towards the habit. And I just want to explain my reasoning for this last method. And the reason why I put this in is simply because you probably value what the habit provides in your life. You see some kind of value that it has, and that means you're going to keep on doing it. But the thing is, there is no value in this habit. There's a reason why everyone tells you to quit it and why it's a bad habit, but you still see that tiny bit of value in it, and that's why you keep on doing it. And basically what happens is your brain justifies the habit by the pleasure it brings. So let's say you're really addicted to like video games. The pleasure it's going to bring you is probably like way up here. So the brain is not really going to care about the negatives it brings you. It's not really going to care about your other goals of financial freedom. It just cares about getting that cheap source of dopamine. So what we need to do to solve this is simply change our beliefs to realize there is no benefit to doing this habit. So the simple way we can do this is through affirmations and journaling. So seriously, I just want you to ask yourself right now, be serious about this. Why do you keep going back to the habit? Analyze it in your mind. What is driving you to keep going back to this bad habit? Why do you keep on doing it? If you can't think of a reason, then you're simply addicted, right? You're addicted to the dopamine. And like I said, your brain will try to justify the habit with random benefits that don't really exist, but it does not see the negatives that it brings. So this is the final and third method to break a bad habit. Every single day we can journal the negatives that the bad habit is going to bring us, so like wasted time, energy, and you need to just constantly remind yourself that it sucks. So like every single time you wake up, every single time you go to bed, remind yourself, say to yourself out loud, X habit is really bad because of Y. Video games are bad for us because they waste all of our time. Video games are bad for us because it means we cannot get any work done. And eventually, if you keep on doing this, your belief is going to disappear and you're selling the bad habit to the spirit realm. So I don't know if you've ever watched Kung Fu Panda, bro. Kai, the enemy, he just gets sent to the spirit realm, skadoosh. That's what you're doing to this bad habit. Like, bro, just imagine your bad habit is Tai Lung from Kung Fu Panda. You go in skadoosh, you're doing the wishy finger hold on him, and you're sending him to the spirit realm if you do this third method. So you can do this by journaling, writing down the reasons why you should quit this bad habit, or you can just do affirmations. So now we're going to move on to some clear as day action steps that you can do in your life and basically quit these bad habits as soon as possible. The first one you can do is change the location you're in at a specific time you do the bad habit and with a new healthier habit. Like if you play video games in your bedroom at 6 p.m, like I said before, you can instead go on a walk in nature at 6 p.m. You can spend time with your family, you can spend time with your friends. Change the habit you're doing at that time in that environment. And basically what you'll do is you'll lower the impulse you get from that habit. Alright, the next actionable step you can do is make the habit difficult. This is mentioned in Atomic Habits. It's one of the main ways we can get rid of bad habits in our life, simply by deleting all the triggers from the bad habit that we have in our life. So for example, maybe your friends message you to play video games. Oh god, there's a fly in my room, bro. Bro, I think I just killed a fly on my bed. That's just great, isn't it? I'm gonna have to clean that up after this video. Anyway, back to the video. So the second action step you can do is make the habit difficult, and you can do that by deleting all the triggers from the bad habit in your life. So like if your friends keep on telling you to go on video games at a specific time, like turn off your phone, get rid of the app on your phone, and so you don't really get the messages anymore, so you can just focus all in on your work. And the third and final method you can do to get rid of these bad habits from your life is by using affirmations and journaling to change the belief to see the negatives of the bad habit. Your brain does not see the negatives of the habit you're doing. It only sees the one, maybe one positive, which is pleasure. It only measures the habit you're doing, and if it brings a lot of pleasure, you're going to be doing that habit like every single minute of every single day. And that's why we need to constantly remind ourselves of the negatives of the habit. Alright, so that's the end of the bad habit deletion video, whatever you want to think of it as. I really hope this video was beneficial to you, and I really hope you can delete these bad habits from your life so you can maximize your productivity. Alright, so watch this video right now. Goodbye, have a nice day. You're going to elbow in the face again. Goodbye.